Okay, traders, I got to the market just a tiny bit late here this morning. I had a meeting that ran a little bit over, so I'm starting late. As I've mentioned in a variety of other videos, I tend to like to get into something to feel it out with a small amount. I'm in Apple short with 1,300 shares. This is a feeler lot. I'm not expecting to make money off of this lot yet. Its purpose is to get inside of Apple and to feel Apple and the market itself. Now, what I may do is either build on this short or actually cut it and flip to the other side on the long side if that's what looks like needs to be done. But every trader develops differently. I've developed in my formative years as a trader that needs to put his finger literally on the pulse of the market. And I do that by sometimes just jumping in on one side or the other. All right, so I decided to jump in on the short side with a small amount just to feel where we are. I want to feel what I'm trying to determine is what's the path of least resistance here? What side seems to really be pushing harder than the other side, the bull side or the bear side? And right now, to be honest with you, it's rather neutral in my mind. I like on the long side, I like Starbucks this morning. All right, I like this actually. Let me refresh the chart here a little bit. And as a matter of fact, I like it so much, let me, if I can, let me start bidding for some stock here. I'm going to start bidding. I'm going to see if I can get, I'm bidding below the market here. I'm going to see if I can get filled on some. I'm bidding below the market here. I want to see if I want to see if Starbucks can actually drop right into my orders. There we go. I'm filled on 500 so far. All right, let me get this out of the way. I don't like that display info. Okay, so I'm filled on 500. Okay, good. It's coming back in. I like it. I see my Facebook is still rather neutral. I'd like to see Starbucks get down a little further, maybe down into the 40s, 30s. Even lower might not be that bad either. But I like it. This bullish beginning to the day is setting the precedent. And so pullbacks against this initial bullish action, pullbacks are viable in my opinion. So as most of you know, I like to bid for my buys 80% of the time or so. I'm bidding for my buys, which means I'm bidding below the market and I allow the market to drop to my bids. And professional traders, as I mentioned before, professional traders get paid for those types of orders. And my payment that I receive from the exchange for bidding, for my bids being filled, are actually higher than my commission costs. So I'm actually being paid to trade in addition to my profits. So in addition to my trading profits, the exchanges pay me. How phenomenal is that? There is a bullish feel to the market and I am short Apple, but that's okay. It's such a small amount, I don't even worry about it too much. Okay, I continue to bid on Starbucks below the market. Yeah, there's definitely a bullish feel. There are some things like oil is weak. Okay, let's focus on my Apple here. Let me refresh the chart. Sometimes the chart needs to be refreshed. Okay, let's build this a little bit. I'm going up to 1,600 shares. I'm up to 1,700 shares. It's running now. It's really running. Okay, now let's see. There's some level of resistance up here in the 124.70 area. As you can see, we fall from that area between 170 and 80. We fall, we get back up there, we fall. We're back up there, we fall. So I'm okay getting more short up here just in case that area of resistance holds. So I'm bidding above the market up here. I'll start early just in case it doesn't get there. So I'm 3,000 shares short now. Okay, let's see if we can get some short in the 124.60 area. Okay, but I have gotten short in the low 50 areas more. Okay, Starbucks is moving nicely for me. Too bad I didn't get more of that. That's only 500 shares. All right, so that's a nothing trade right now. It just didn't fall deep enough with my orders waiting down here. It didn't fall deep enough, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. Apple's coming off the high, so we'll see if it continues to push higher. But so far, it's weakened after poking through the 124.50 range where I got short some more. Like I said, there does seem to be a bullish feel overall to the market. I'm not sure if that's going to change, but look at these bullish charts. Home Depot bullish, UNH bullish. Look at Costco. Overall, there's just this bullish feel to things. Not everything. You can't ever get everything bullish, but Nike's bullish. Oil is weak today. Starbucks is bullish. EXPE is bullish. Oil again weak. Walmart neutral. American Express rather neutral. Neutral to bullish. All right, so overall, there's bullishness. Oh, my Apple's gone into profitable territory here. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. Not up by much, but hey. I came off 500 shares. I've shaved off 500 shares. Nothing to write home about. Okay, so we'll let that meander around a little bit here. Let's see what my Starbucks is doing. It's sort of stalled out here. It was a nice explosive open. I'm a little bummed that I was not able to get out of my early morning meeting before the open. I mean, look at the explosiveness of the open. Okay, and I think Apple's going to be neutral here for a bit. I don't see it dropping really big by any means, so I'm not going to really expect much on the short side here. It's neutral. It's meandering around near yesterday's closing price. This dashed line here represents yesterday's closing price. All right, so it's completely neutral. It's right at yesterday's closing price. I do my best work right off the open. It's funny, just the other day, someone was saying, Oliver, I think trading the open is just a gamble. It's pot luck. It's just rolling the dice. Like, oh my goodness. For most New York Stock Exchange specialists, for most NASDAQ market players, their best work, their most solid level of profitability, their most consistent period of the day is the open. Like, how could you say that? Oh my goodness. Novice, of course, has no idea what the professional trading world is about. Not his fault, but just true. All right, Apple is moving down a little bit here. Oh my goodness, it poked quite a bit there. Look at that. It poked quite a bit. I missed it. Would have loved to have gotten some down there below 10. All right, I'm down to 2,100 shares. Okay, 1,600 shares. 1,100. It was going to pop back up there. 300 shares. Out. All right, no big deal, $400. All right, Starbucks is now gone to, it's pulling back in. Let's see if I can start working this like I originally wanted to. All right, I'm going to start bidding for some down here in the 50s, in the mid 50s here, the mid to low 50s, I should say. All right, I'm up to 1,100 shares in Starbucks now. Nice. All right, let's see if we can get it. I'd love to have it pull down between this. Look at the dash line, yesterday's closing price. Down here near 95.10. The 200 period moving average down in the same area. That's a dual level of support. And that level is also in the midst or within the range of its first explosive, what I call an elephant bar. So I like when stocks drop in the range in between the high and low of a powerful elephant bar. Now, we're dropping in the range of the second elephant bar. And that is one of the reasons why I'm bidding down here. I like to buy in the range of these fat green bars. So I picked up a little bit more in the mid 50s down here. And this entire area is my accumulation range. This entire area. So I will bid and allow the stock to drop into my buy orders all the way down. Now, Some people say, Oliver, that's so risky. It's not risky if you have a stop point, right? There's an uncle point, a quit point, an eject your trade point. You don't do that infinitely until you go broke. You have to have a line drawn in the sand. Now, at the level that I trade on, my maximum loss per trade, unless I'm doing an exercise, all right, my maximum loss per trade is $8,000. My maximum loss per day is $15,000. So if a trade goes negative by 8,000, I usually cut it off, step back, regroup. And I may go back into that play, but that's a brand new play. And it's not like I can only lose up to $7,000, right? Because 15,000 is my maximum loss per trade. Now I rarely experience that, but that is my cutoff lines. Starbucks reacting off of its rising 20-period moving average here, which oftentimes serves as support. As I mentioned to you before, I'd love to see it drop back down. I'd love to see it drop a little further. And we may not get that. I may have to be satisfied with this tiny little 1,100 share position here, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that I missed my explosive open this morning. All right, let's see. We're back into the 50s here. Let's see if we can get this down. Ah, yes, here we go. Here we go. What Starbucks? I love it. I love it. Let's see if we can get some here. Pick our size up a little bit here. Now I'm bidding below the market again. Look, I'm at 1,100 shares. If we drop a little bit more, it will start to fall into some of my additional bids down here. Come to Papa. Starbucks. What an amazing company Starbucks is. It's truly amazing in a lot of different ways. It's not by any stretch of the imagination the largest retail coffee outlet. I think it's actually one of the smallest, to be honest with you. A lot of people don't realize that. That in the coffee world, Dunkin' Donuts is, I don't know, a monster. It's gargantuan compared to Starbucks. But Starbucks is the Rolls Royce and Dunkin' Donuts is the General Motors. General Motors far bigger than Rolls Royce, but Rolls Royce has a higher status in terms of image. And so it is in the coffee world. Starbucks has the higher image, but is tiny compared to Dunkin' Donuts. But that has absolutely no bearing on it. See, it's interesting that a lot of novice traders think things of that nature have a bearing on trading. It's just interesting BS. Has nothing to do with trading at all. They read articles in the Wall Street Journal, Business Week, and they think that can help their trading. Yes, come on, Starbucks. Has nothing to do with trading, these macro ideas and things. And they start thinking that information that they glean from a newspaper article can be used to improve their trading ideas. No, never. It's crazy. If it were that easy, all of the readers throughout the world would be your big winners. All of the professors that sit and sip coffee over the Wall Street Journal in their Business Week in their Barron's, oh my God, they would be your billionaires. No, it doesn't work that way. If it were that easy, oh my goodness, I just can't. I can't. As you can see, Starbucks has this really strong level of support down here around 50. One time, two times, three times, it's attempted to break through. I'm sitting down there with orders, but I'm not getting filled. It's not going down enough to hit my orders. So the 20-period moving average continues to be support here. Let's see if we do finally get a break. Okay, here we go. I got filled some more. I'm up to 1,700 shares, tiny bit more. I continue to bid for more. I'm going to bid for the stock all the way down. I'm hoping we can get as low as the 20s and 30s. Here we go. Yes. 2,200 shares. Here we go. Now we're getting some velocity to the downside. Let's see here. Let's see if I can really start sprucing up my size. This is what I like. Oh, yes. Come on, go. 2,200 shares. Let's see if we can pick this up. A little bit more, a little bit more. Give me my rebates. Fall into my bid. Tell the word. There we go. 3,600. Haha. Now, let's let it trade a little bit. If it's going to come down, I'm going to make my next bids down near in the 20s. And that's where I'll really look to build some very, very decent size if we get there. If we get there. Now I'm only down 200 some odd dollars. It's really a neutral position here for 3,600 shares. That's absolutely nothing. This is the art of buying low and selling high. There is an art called buying high to sell higher, which is valid, but it's only valid in certain market environments. Buying low and selling high is valid in all market environments. That's the difference. Most novices are, here we go, come into my 20s. Most novices are buy high, sell higher traders. Most professionals are buy low, sell high traders. I mean, even from a macro perspective, your Warren Buffett's market style is to buy value, right? Which is another fancy way of saying I buy low. And to sell overvalued companies, which is another fancy way of saying I sell high. Okay, here we are. We're in the 20s now. Now I will look to really build my size up nicely from the 20s down to the teens. I am now in the range as I wanted of the first explosive bull bar. Okay, I'm up to 4,300 shares now. Now what I'm looking to happen, I'm looking for this area here to really be the major area of support that has the stock settle and push back up toward that 20-period moving average. Now I want to be nicely profitable at the 20-period moving average. That's the goal. See if we can pick this up by another 500 shares. Go to 4,800. There we go. Gonna really pick up my size now. Now I'm at 5,800, and now we're back. Let's see here. Now it's getting interesting, guys. It's getting really interesting here. 6,100 shares. Still bidding for more. Might push lower just by a little bit. I'm okay if it goes a little bit lower. I'm okay. Sometimes there's a little overage. Okay, 7,000 shares. I took the offers on those. I'm still bidding for some below the market. I'm staging myself in. Here we go. You may have one more push to the downside. One more. I'm at 7,000 shares. I'm bidding. Okay, 7,500 shares. I love this is trading. Guys, this is trading. This is what I love. It's very nice and can be exhilarating when you get into a position and it immediately takes off. And that's okay, right? That has a certain amount of joy. I like that, 7,600 shares. But I love the challenge of a Starbucks. I love working a trade. It's what I do best. 8,500 shares, 8,600 shares. I love working a position like this. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Now, this is where it looks like there's a good possibility of some decent, real solid support. I actually thought support was going to be, the real heavy support was going to be in that prior day's closing area here. But it looks like the real major support is right here. Let's see. The way it's acting here, I'm going to have to, no, I can get up to 15 to 20,000 shares on this position. Let's see. I've got the capital. I'm only using a very small amount of my buying power. Okay, 9,700 shares. Do an even 10,000 and then let it settle. Okay, I think I'm right with this so far. The real support here is in the 70s, 80s. Did not get those last 300 down there to make it an even 10,000 shares. I love working a trade like this. This is what I live for. This is market making. Now, if I can get one more dip, see this powerful green bar? If it can dip one more time into the range of this green bar, I'll use that dip to accumulate more, starting in the low 90s into the 80s again. That's if we dip back. So far it's right, with the real major support being in the 80s and 70s. So far, right. Like I said, sometimes you can get a little overage. You can't be too specific. You gotta give some slippage room to your areas of support and resistance. You start to try to be too precise and exact with the market, it's going to slay you. The market is not precise and exact. So I'm 7 cents from profitability. All right, as you can see, I'm only 9 cents. Imagine being concerned because you're 9 cents away from break even. Come on, give me a break. All right, I'm 8 cents from profitability. I love this, ladies and gentlemen. I love this, traders. This is what I love. I'm 3 cents from break even, 2 cents, 1 cent from break even. Now, a pullback is going to be another opportunity to accumulate. It would be more profitable for me if it pulled back first, let me go to 12, 13, 14,000 shares, and then the real move back to the upside occurs. I'm profitable now. All right, that would be the best. Come on, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, let's go. Down to 8,700 shares. I'm starting to peel off now. $7,600 shares. $6,600 shares. Come on, come on, come on to Papa, come to Papa. 5,900 shares. There we go, 3,300 shares. 3,000. 2,000. Coming back toward that 200. I mean that 20 period moving average, I should say. 700. Flat. There you go. Now, not all of those transactions or trades were placed on the bid and on the offer. I did remove liquidity on about 20% of the orders, but on 80% of the orders, not only was I placing those trades, but each trade I got paid a rebate for adding liquidity to the exchange. Retail traders do not get this, only professional traders get a rebate. So as the orders are falling into my bids, each order that hits a bid, I get a payment from the exchange. This is in addition to my trading profits, traders. So this trading profit, and wait, let me just say this. Each time I place an offer to sell, as it was going up, it's moving into my offers. Each time an offer is hit of mine, I get a payment from the exchange. So here's roughly $1,000, a little shy of $1,000 made on SBUX, but my real profitability is bigger with the rebates that I received for 80% of those orders. I hope you've enjoyed this live trading session. Oliver Velez coming to you live, bowing out only for now.